5AA Breakfast Show.
Police have got involved with the Jason Graham scandal where he's broken an intervention, and I don't know why he just doesn't get along like my wife and I. I mean, you know, I left this morning and there was a note on the fridge and it said, "It's not working, I can't take it anymore, I've gone to stay at Mum's." Well, I opened up the fridge, the light came on, the beer was cold, I don't even know what she's talking about.
Get on. The 5AA Brekkie Show.
Weekday mornings from 6.
On 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
Interactive radio.
Email on air at 5AA.com.au.
Peter Godfrey.
19 past 5. Yeah, Brekkie's coming up soon. 6 o'clock here at 1395, Adelaide's 5AA. But before that, let's head across to New Zealand. Selwyn Manning from livenews.co.nz with some news from that part of the world. G'day, Selwyn.
Yeah, g'day, Peter.
First up, bit of a drug bust. One of your dairy products exporter sort of got involved in a bit of a bust in Algeria. What's happened there?
Well, it's an absolute mystery at the moment. New Zealand Customs have been sent over to Algeria to try and gather more facts, but what we understand at the moment is coming from an agency French press report late yesterday. The largest New Zealand dairy products exporter, Fonterra, is working with customs and police to establish whether it is involved in some way with this huge drug bust in Algeria. Now, what it involves is 162 to 165 kilograms of either cocaine or heroin. So you can see from the type of drug, it's still unsure on which, or is there multiple types. Now, the 165 kilograms of either cocaine or heroin was located and found inside a Fonterra container containing dairy milk powder exports from New Zealand to Algeria. And the container apparently was security sealed. And the container's track went from Port Otago right down the bottom of the South Island. The ship also docked in at Tauranga, which is on the east coast in the Bay of Plenty of the North Island of New Zealand, and then went up via Panama to Spain and down to Algiers. So it's had quite a track, as you would imagine. You know, these kind of ships obviously, dock in a number of ports and traditionally go through Panama, but the details of this is obviously concerning for New Zealand, particularly Fonterra, in a sense, because of the security seal being in place. Yeah,
so there's, as you say, this report's a bit sketchy, but no suggestion that it's been tampered with, that the seal was somehow a problem with it or anything like that as yet?
With that, that's where all the big questions really are. I mean, it seems like a lot of drugs from any kind of person's standard, isn't it? Any country's standard. That's a huge haul. It's estimated, and this is just an estimated kind of thing, that the intercept drugs. I mean, Radio New Zealand is reporting, for example, Peter, that it's worth around about $346 million. But if you don't know the type of drug that's there, I mean, obviously that figure can kind of blow out or go down quite considerably. One would imagine blow out to bigger. But it just gives us an idea that it's a huge haul that's been intercepted there. New Zealand Customs, as I was saying at the beginning, it is indicated that the ship passed through Port Otago, Port of Tauranga, and then on to Panama, Valencia in Spain. It was there in Spain for 24 days, according to Radio New Zealand and its customs services contacts.
Okay. And Algeria was its ultimate destination? That was where it was intended to go?
As we understand, there's quite a strong trade relationship between Algeria and New Zealand, particularly with Fonterra and dairy products. That's all milk product mainly. So this is obviously there has been it's been innuendo and gossip, so you cannot kind of rely on it for fact in a sense. But I just mention it from the point of view that the Tauranga port stands out when you're reading these types of things. That the word around is that Tauranga is not the best for security. It's a very large port, certainly significant from the volume that it's putting through, but it is on par with the Auckland Harbour ports of Auckland, and its security around there is said by many to be quite lax and a potential gateway for the importation of all those ingredients going toward methamphetamine, etc. And I know that that's been a headache for customs services and understaffed police in that area. But that's a side issue, really, and I only mention it from the point of view as a possible consequence if this was seen to have originated from New Zealand in some way, this drug, then that would be obviously a focus of which port is the weak link here.
Yes, a big headache for customs. So New Zealand customs officials are on their way
yes,
to
on their
Algeria.
way.
Others, any police authorities moving that way as well too?
Police in the same as well. Yeah, police going up there as well. New Zealand customs, in a similar way to Australian customs, has clearly got a reputation of being very tight. But what we've been hearing through news reports, but also from police speaking publicly on this, that there has been an increase in New Zealand being a transit for the export of large drugs across from mainly cocaine, from what we're picking up. That once where it would have been Australia as one of the main transit countries for the drug cartels, that Auckland and New Zealand has started to pop up on the radar, and intercepts have been indicating a pattern there. So this type of thing highlights it, obviously. Again, it may be that New Zealand actually has no role in this at all, that the security seal had, that it had been broken and then in some way, reconnected in some way. It may be found that, but just at the moment, it's obviously a huge concern over the side of the ditch and getting a lot of news coverage on that.
Yeah. Watch this space, I guess. Gee, that's a lot, isn't it? 160 odd kilos.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a confident drug organisation that's pumping that kind of stuff around. Isn't it?
Yeah. On to another topic, perhaps a bit less sinister. Big day for Kiwis today, particularly if you're into a bit of numerology, perhaps. Well, you tell us why.
Yeah, well, Statistics New Zealand, they've told the country that today, November the 1st, will see the population of New Zealand hit 4,444,444 people.
All the fours.
So Statistics New Zealand's calculated this track, and it's confident within the next 24 hours there's going to be that 444. I think that's the right number of fours.
Seven fours.
7 fours. You could really go to town on the numerology if you're interested in that kind of thing on this one.
Could you ever?
Especially as you pointed out before we went on air, if the baby was born at 4:44 in the morning, well, then you've got some significant kind of numbers.
I saw a report. There was a comment from a senior demographer, Kim Dunstan, who said he could not pinpoint the exact time the milestone would be reached, but we've suggested that it could be 4:44 a.m.
Well, there you go.
But you've passed that. It's certainly well past that your time. But
and it doesn't seem like the news wires are, glowing red hot with news on that 4:44 a.m. So maybe it didn't quite happen at that stage, but it's supposed to be happening today. And I wonder if there's some sort of constellation coming into alignment as well, Peter. I mean,
you never know. We
may have a star is born today. This new Kiwi that's going to storm the world with perhaps...
You never know. So, speculation that it could be a newborn baby, or it could in fact be a new migrant or an expat Kiwi returning home. So you don't even know who it could be that could make that milestone.
It could be some wonderful person from a far-off land that becomes the special icon, if you like, of Kiwidom, or like you say, a Kiwi coming home, which seems to be quite probably, if you were putting odds on it, that would be the least, I'd say. Most Kiwis seem to be heading over to Australia, I think, Peter.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. I mean, I think our population would blow out to 5555555 if all the Kiwis came home from Australia. But apparently we won't hit those 7 fives for a few more decades. When New Zealand ticked over to all the threes, 3,333,000, etc., was back in the mid-1980s, according to Statistics New Zealand.
Okay. So your population's not really growing at any frantic rate.
Well, I guess, if you looked at it from a proportion or percentage of it, going up from 3,300,000 to 4 1,400,000 in just short of 2 decades is starting to climb quite high. And if you get serious on this, the real consequence starts hitting in on the future governments to cost it all out, really relating to New Zealand's superannuation, the pension, the old age pension and things, especially when the baby boomers, start hitting that stride. So I think that's the same in Australia too. But yes, so if you hear something about, the special Kiwi who has been born or a new migrant that has settled into New Zealand on your news later tonight, that may be the background to it.
All the fours. Well, good luck to that person, whoever it may be. Selwyn, many thanks. We'll catch you again next week.
Okay, Peter.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Selwyn Manning from livenews.co.nz. And Stone with all our news coming up.